What's up, Kenra? It's Lo here, your brand ambassador, and I'm so excited because I'm in my balayage zone here. This is a stylist that works with me, McKenna Young. She's also an incredible balayage expert, and so we're so excited. We've been talking about balayaging her hair, and so what we're going to do is work off of her natural base and introduce a lot more dimension and bright high points. So as we look at her base, it already has previous color to it, which will only build a better result as we continue to work on her. So if you've seen any of my other balayage tutorials on this channel, you know I'm a big fan of working clean and strategically. I'll be using the blue powder lightener, which is my favorite, and boosting it with the 30 volume developer, which is my balayage go-to. Looking at her canvas, what we're going to be doing today is adding some dimension through her top portion of her base here. I don't want to lose the contrast in her hair, so we're going to be working off of nice diagonal sections to keep her natural base in there while we introduce those high points. And then if you look at how much depth that she has underneath, we have a lot of natural canvas to work with, and she surfs every day, she wears her hair up. And so just by approaching balayage in that area, not only is it going to balance her hair out as she wears her hair in front of her shoulders, but when she sweeps her hair up into a cute little surfy bun, we'll be able to see a lot of dimension in her top knot. So that is our goal today. We want to lift her a few levels. So when it comes to mixing, I'll be mixing several small batches of lightener so that we get high impact and high lift. Here is our sectioning. We have the back two quadrants of her hairline, which is where I'm gonna lay the color in first. And then we have the money piece area where she'll notice the most impact. So I will be laying on the lightener there so that it has enough time to really get maximum levels of lift. For this underneath, I'm just gonna make sure that I'm taking my comb and combing up all the little fuzzy little nape hairs. I am creating a sheet of color because of how much natural base I'll be lifting. This is gonna help me to get a baby light result, which is just gonna give us a lot of impact. And she has so much hair that's gonna fall on the back side of this that it's just gonna give us a really soft dimension. Most stylists that are new to balayage are afraid to lay this much color on because, you know, like it kind of seems like it's just gonna create a block of color, but this actually gives a really soft, diffused baby light. And I'm going to gently lay this down onto the cape once I have a really nice handle on my saturation. When you're painting, you need to be very assertive and generous with your saturation because once the product dries, your lift plateaus. For the face frame, I'm going to lay in a really heavy panel too, but I'm just gonna sweep the lightener gently towards the root so that it creates a very subtle transition between her base and her dimension. It's gonna be really beautiful and bold. And as I work down, I'm going to hit the surface of the top of the section as well. So this is going to help us produce a really bold flood of color, which is what we want. I was looking at her inspo and she wants to be really dimensional. So McKenna and I work together in the salon, and she is a balayage queen. We have done so much work together. Sometimes we'll do a client together here and there. She has pretty much taken like all my classes. And a question I want to ask you, McKenna, is what is some of your favorite balayage tips?
For me, it is so important to remember your body positioning. And that has been a game changer for me because the tension and everything changes when your body is positioned correctly. So just really focusing on that, I feel like is such a game changer for your balayage application.
So as I keep working up the side of the hairline, I'm just taking sections that I can control, and they're always gonna be at an angle, so that it just has a really nice fall when her hair relaxes. I always like to keep a little bit of the natural root in there too, so it's a very soft, sun-kissed blend once we're finished toning. Just a quick recap, the front hairline, we did 3 subsections on each side of the temple, and we built in heavier 3D panels. Whereas in the back section of the nape, we just started with 2 larger panel sections. Although they're different placements, they will complement each other in the final reveal. I really want to build color on this outer shell. So as I look at this whole section, I'm looking at how we can add dimension overall. So what I'd like to do is take this underneath section and connect it to the money piece, and then lay a big sheet of color over the whole top surface area. Okay, so for this back section, I'm trying to not interrupt the underneath pieces that are already painted. But I do want to get in there and like be pretty assertive with how fast and effective I'm painting. So I'm going to take pretty large surface spaces and just lay the color on. She has so much hair, it might need to become 2 subsections as I do it, but nonetheless, I'm going to be painting pretty much walls of color to break up the underneath, and that's going to create a lot of soft, subtle dimension. I'm just gonna mimic how we laid the color on in the sides, where it's like pretty big sheets of color with tiny high points leading into the root. This will just make it very gradient when we go in and shadow her. And I'm super excited to shadow you, McKenna, because we'll probably use one of my favorites in the NA series, which is like a green base. To help cancel all the unwanted warmth that balayage can create and stylists are trying to avoid, right? I'm thinking a 5 NA for your shadow would be really beautiful. We are back with McKenna's final result. This looks so beautiful. I wish you can come out to like the outside light with us because her hair is giving so much reflection and dimension. What we shadowed her with was a 5 NUA, we called it. That really helped us to remove and reduce any underlining warm tones and helped create a very soft effect from her natural base through the body of the color. Isn't it so crazy how bold you can apply balayage, but then in the end result, it's just soft and seamless? This is one of those reasons why I love doing it so much and really specializing in it, because you can really manipulate the results that you're getting. Her overall tone is, you guessed it, 9 PV, my favorite. This was really, really fun, but McKenna processed for a good 45 minutes, maybe a little longer because we just had to like watch the color progress. I had so much fun sharing this technique overview with you, and it was just amazing to get to know McKenna a little bit. If you'd like to follow us both on Instagram, you can find me at @low_Wheeler-Davis. If you love this tutorial, you have to subscribe to the Kenra YouTube channel because there's so many great educators featured on this channel, and you can see so many more blonding techniques from me. Until then, we'll see you on Instagram.